We're going to get Davidson Lunger. I'm so glad to see you today. How is every little thing with you this afternoon?
Doing great, thanks. I've got an old pug named Honey Boo Boo. I rescue dogs, and I see you're a dog.
All right.
When he heard your voice, he started barking. So.
Well, you know, I have a way with dogs, so that's awesome. I appreciate you coming on my show today. The nice thing, we're also on Facebook Live. I'll have an edited version for this as well. Okay. So the nice thing, I live in a 1958 home, and the roof was in perfect condition in 2012, and they don't make roofs like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't. You know, well, not in your case, but my dad and my granddad's roof used to be, you know, 30, 40 years lifetime guarantee. And in the 90s, Congress limited the amount of petroleum and asphalt that could go into roofing to save it for road repair. So roofs started being made much cheaper with lots of crushed limestone and less petroleum. So lifetime roofs really about 8, 12, 15 years in this tropical climate. So technology isn't what it used to be because they took some of the product away from us and put it in our road surfaces. Yeah.
Yeah. And we get incidental chemical exposure from the roads, but not from our roofs, don't we?
Yes, exactly. And then we have the salt in the south down here. So you get salt, air breeze, a lot of heavy tree canopies and growth, and like roofs are a lot of assault. Any questions?
So back to the salt. For some reason, I don't know what happened to our feed just now.
No problem.
You were talking about the environmental issues we have in Florida.
Yes, it's just the tough tropical climate with salt air, with the heavy tree canopies, sometimes the intense sun and UV rays all just degrade roofs very quickly. And kind of the telltale signs are when you see a roof starting to streak and get moldy and look blonde and bleached and burned out and tired, that's simply because the petroleum's evaporated. That was that roof's essential oil. And that's what my company does. Why I get so excited about it is we actually replace that lost petroleum with 100% soy-based patented product that breaks down into millions of microbeads, goes in down to the base of the asphalt shingle and works its way back out within minutes, filling the fissures and the cracks. It relocks the granules back on the asphalt shingles, and it reignites the glue tabs, which hold the shingle layers together. So prior to this, Sandra, we simply had replace your roof, wait till it starts leaking, or if it starts leaking, patch it. But there was no alternative except to seal it. And there were a bunch of gypsies, frankly, that ran around coastal America and Florida selling sealants like plastic coatings, and frankly, that look nice for a while, but what happens is the roof can expand and contract. The great thermal shock that a roof goes through from 160 degrees to 40 degrees in a day, it can expand and contract when it's sealed, and it also raised people's electric bills because the roof couldn't vent itself after it being sealed. So unfortunately, sealants and any sort of roof maintenance has kind of a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth because they were victims of sealants. So my big charge is to educate people, because this is the first alternative to putting that roof in a landfill prematurely.
That's just a groundbreaking choice for us. And as realtors, if we're not educated to that, and we come up to a roof and they said, we just had this done, the first thing we're going to think of, who put that on, because I don't know anything about it.
Exactly. And I think I'm always excited to talk with real estate folks, as I said, Sandra, because I started but I'm not roof Max. I'm not broke, but when realtors hear about, or buyers are just programmed to ask for a new roof and a new air conditioning if they're, nor are they willing to replace a roof when they sell their house. So right now we finally have an alternative where the buyer gets a 5-year transferable warranty that states that the roof will perform, the shingles will perform as if they came out of the original package for a period of 5 years. And frankly, we don't think it'll need to be treated in 5, but that's what the warranty is on our product, and it can be retreated. But the shingles will be waterproofed and perform the way they did out of the bag when they were new. What we can't guarantee or warranty is the installation quality on a roof, because it's lipstick on a church. And we decide if it's functionally repaired, unfortunately. They're too old or too far gone. But that leaves 7 out of 10 that we usually can repair. I say repair, we can extend the life of.
That's very exciting. So the paperwork at the very beginning, as an educated realtor, I want to give my seller and buyer these choices without spending an extra $20,000 in a transaction. And I foresee a big problem in the state of Florida with insurance, everyone trying to make a claim. But if it is something that in the market can help all the businesses do here, because it's very hard for insurance companies to do business in Florida, isn't it?
It really gain and from insurance companies, their liability. The amount of claims they get from previous storms is just incredible. But frankly, we're getting through those. And also these insurance companies are not replacing roofs the way they used to. They'll replace a section, a side, where they'll send you a 100 square feet of shingles and say, find your own roof. And with increased policy expense for the rest of your life on that and other properties. So if we can come in and save that roof for the insurance company, for the property owner, give them 5 to 15 additional years for a fifth the cost of roof replacement. That's what we average here in the Sarasota.
That's okay. Hopefully, are you there?
I'm there. Did you lose again? I'm sorry, it's an unstable connection, I guess, here. Apologies. Coming after this and really started excited hear about it. Educate them about what this alternative can do for them.
So this is a very consumer-centric product, and this is also a very urban economic centric product. It solves so many problems on so many different levels, because you nailed it on the head. Your claims history, everyone is concerned about that.
Right.
And if it's something that you can self-manage and you don't have to self-insure, but you have a tool out there that gives life back to those shingles, it's breathing life back into those shingles with this essential oil. I love the sound of that. We do that.
It is. Also, Sandra, the other thing is the American Society of Home Inspectors just publicly endorsed us in the last year. They're a hard group to get to endorse a home improvement company on anything, and we are the fastest growing home improvement company in the world. Forbes just featured us. Inc. has featured us. PBS did a mini series on us. As I mentioned to you earlier, Kevin Harrington, one of the original founders of Shark Tank, has actually become a dealer in the 22 of the Tampa markets because he was so excited about it. He sees every product there is, period. He gets a jump on every new product that comes out there. So I like to say we're staging on steroids for real estate folks, because not only do you have the 5 years, it looks nice when we're done. We're not a colorant, but it'll return that hydrated look, like you wash your skin and you put a high-grade moisturizer on your skin. That's what we do for the roof. Locks those granules on, as I said. And then you have a marketing, for sellers, you have a marketing warranty to put on the kitchen countertop of the rest of your marketing brochures. Now, it's not a new roof, but it's certainly peace of mind for a buyer when they buy a home. And that's the last thing keeping the transaction together. So we save transactions for real estate companies all the time. And it's fun to work with them and see the difference in what it does for the transaction.
Well, and you got to jump on, Kevin, because we are part of the greater industrial Tampa footprint, and you got here before Kevin did a year ago. So you've been educating a group of us little by little, and I'm new to it. Who are the providers in this area? That do we go directly to you to find the providers?
You do, and thank you for clarifying that. I am the exclusive dealer for the greater Sarasota Bradenton area. I can go anywhere by referral. My dealer network, I say my dealer network, I'm just a team player. I'll put folks in touch with people if I can't do it, but I'll go about within an hour and a half of downtown Sarasota or downtown Bradenton.
Well, depending on what's going on downtown, that might be just a block. if it's an evening dining out where the street is full of tables and restaurants.
Right.
So the nice thing is, what this roof Maxx ability is to stretch all the way from Minnesota Key, Casey Key, Siesta Key, Bird Key, Longboat Key, Anna Maria, 35 miles of keys and beaches and islands you cover, including the intercoastal. And, our footprint goes, about 10 or 15 miles into Florida. How far is it just Sarasota and Manatee County, or do we go back into like DeSoto, Hillsborough? We edge into there as well?
Well, actually, Kevin would, and not those markets, but I'm Lakewood Ranch, for example. And just to give you an idea, I live on Lido Key. I did a house in Siesta yesterday, 2 in Longboat today. We'll be doing 1 in Riverside next week. We'll be doing a church in Bradenton. We'll be doing a vet's office off of Fruitville. We're all over heck and back because early adapters hear about this. And people just get really excited. It's really a fun technology. It really is.
It's not just fun, it's money saving. And you not only save a transaction, but in this whole environment for the last 100 days, everyone has watched absolutely every penny they've spent on everything else. It's the mindset that the world is in. You and I went through that during the real estate crisis. And when we're seeing it now affect everyone globally, having a solution like this allows to make a great decision instead of a great leap, because inch by inch, everything has to be handled based on what we're up against. We're in hurricane season, then we're only 80 degrees, but it was 99% humidity just a month ago. The flex in our roof has to be amazing.
It really, again, you can wear that quicker than they say they do in the northern climate. You don't have on the roof. So roofs can last longer up north. But the other I wanted to also mention, Sandra, is one of my passions is helping housing providers, churches, nonprofits, animal organizations of any kind, where their core business is their charitable functions. If I can take a church, for example, that has $400,000 set aside to replace their roof, and I can do it for under 40, and they can take their money and put it into their core charity, their core reason of being, then that's my passion. And I really get the pricing down because it's square footage. It's like anything else. The more carpet you buy, the more roof Maxx soy you buy, the better we can do for folks. So I ask everybody that you speak with if they just keep their ears open for me. Clearly, the residential homeowner and small business owner, strip mall, church, school, city and county government, all important, but I want to give back to. So.
This is a super giving community, and for people who see this are going to want to get a hold of you directly. Now, I'll post that on the edited version of this, but if you want to give your telephone number and the best way to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Oh, and that number, it's 941-780-6826. And you know, the email's my name, D for Davidson, D Lunger at roofmax, ROOFMAXX.com. And just for everybody that does watch, just did a big presentation to a landlords association. If you go to roofmax.com, and I know you have, Sandra, it's a really great informative site. But, you know, early adapters like you were so appreciated because you get it. And, you know, you want to save your clients and care about environmentally. Did I lose you?
And we're back. And I think with this product, we're going to be able to get rid of a lot of blue tarps in Florida, don't you?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you just a minute more if I may. When we go on a roof, we're not roofers. We don't say that we are, but we take 20 to 20 inspection photos and give them to the homeowner, whether they treat or not, and we'll identify areas that we think a roofing company should look at. So at a minimum, the owner gets a complimentary inspection. They get a roof report and a full extensive drawing of every eave and every angle on the perimeter and the size of their roof. And again, we can say, hey, listen, I'd have somebody look at that valley or that crown, or your roof looks great. You don't need me. Heck, I hate it when that happens, but it does happen.
And you keep the shysters out because it's happening right now. We got rid of them during the bubble and they're back,
Exactly.
right? They're back. So when you consult a professional like myself or any of the skilled realtors in the area or call Davidson directly, we will keep your roof shyster free.
I like that. Thank you.
Shyster-free environment, and it's also an agenda-free environment. We're going to help you no matter what, and thank you that you do give back to our community, and you're making a huge difference. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, and it's great to work with pros like you, Sandra.